tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
I'm looking for a Nort, a young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Nort, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Nort that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins. They exchanged words with the cabin boy.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. Needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
It's blocked. It's blocked.
Selection, whatever. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen any? Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Welcome. It's such a... Have you... Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Yeah! Well, have you... for your visit. See you soon. Welcome! Have you... Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Well, have you... Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to... Have you seen it? Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Welcome. It's such a... Have you seen any... Thank you for your visit. Welcome! Have you seen any... Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Welcome! Have you seen... Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sardet, and to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact? It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished...
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave.
With respect, my lady.
So, are you ready to leave?
Not quite. I still have a few errands to run for my uncle. What about you?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nort from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
How I would like my father to be implicated in this sordid business. Our old teacher must surely know what's going on here. Let's go talk to him.
Yes? Well, how can your old professor be of service to you?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there has always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Norts as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us. This document mentions another property. A warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Are your boots worn through? Is your hat out of style? Does your vest belong to last year's fashion?
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
A handful of underlings don't scare us away. Right, cousin?
Let's just try to remain discreet.
Sir de Sardet, what are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Norts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Norts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine? I looked into the contract that binds you to the Norts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before. Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Norts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in the story, don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You're not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Norts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
So it's here that our man keeps his son. Abusive fathers.
Who are you?
My name is de Sardet. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes. Even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Whatever you need to read.
Sir, are you ready to leave?
Not quite. I still have a few...
My cabin boy, Jonas, is back on ship. I have you to thank, I imagine.
You do. It's a rather sad affair, and though solved, leaves a broken family behind.
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions bring you honor.
Be back soon, Captain.
Sire, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I won't make for good company.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sardet, To what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Teerfredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it, and perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The Prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You're hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do. Could you tell me anything about Thélème?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Matthias, our founder and greatest prophet. And give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Thélème are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah, you must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminous and the more political orders. The Lord Luminous has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
What's your point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassador of Thélème, I can only rejoice at the mention of our commercial treaties. We appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints. That heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
How is Thélème faring on Teerfredi?
We built a marvelous city, San Matthias, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult. Disgusting creatures. but I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end to these horrors. And we have tremendous hopes that the entire native population will join our ranks.
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front. Without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Teofredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade.
Sir? Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. Might I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
A couple of heretics are planning on leaving Serene. The ambassador of Thélème has entrusted me with the job of capturing them.
Happy to see that you trust me enough to seek my counsel in the affair. Just so happens that I heard someone talking about the couple. The Cardinal's men are far from discreet. They're making quite some ruckus, asking to search our warehouses. We of course refused entry. Only the Nords have access. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I'm certain your potential stowaways aren't far. But we won't allow you to make a search to grab them. Not officially, at least.
What do you mean?
That discretion and malice are often more useful than titles and words.
Permission to board the ship. We are ready.
Certainly. But keep in mind that we'll be at sea for several months. If you have any farewells to make,
You're quite right, I do have a thing.
then be quick with
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
I've seen a few
Are you the smuggler?
You snuck yourself in here just to ask me that question? If this is some sort of trick to get me to admit to some crime, you are truly twisted.
You can see for yourself that I'm no Nord. Come now. Are you the one I'm looking for?
I'm already locked up. What more do I risk? Yes, I am a smuggler. But I'm not the only one in this city.
I'm searching for a couple fleeing to Leme. They're trying to leave the city discreetly. Have they contacted you?
You certainly can't imagine I'm going to answer you without getting something in exchange. I don't really think of my clients as kin, but I'd never betray any of them for free.
A real saint you are. How about your freedom in exchange for your loyalty? Tell me where I can find them and I'll open this cage.
That works for me. Your two Telemites are hidden in a warehouse behind this very prison. They must be waiting for me. But you might want to be quick about it. If the Nauts get their hands on them, they'll find themselves in this same cage.
Thank you.
Anytime. And these doors? You're gonna open them, right? Thank you, my lord. And don't worry about me. I'll slip outside without being seen.
It's blocked. It's blocked.
Who is there?
May the Illuminated save us. Did the smuggler send you?
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison, but revealed to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition, then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Thélème so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it would provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias? The one who returned to Thélème after traveling with his master?
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Teofredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Teofredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, St. Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth, which convinced St. Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could forget what you have discovered, perhaps.
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
It doesn't sit well with me to send you to the flames. I freed your smuggler, and he'll certainly be in touch. He, or another member of his band. Be careful, and safe travels.
Oh, thank you, my lord. You are a man of noble heart. May the Illuminated protect you.
Thank you for having heard us and helped. You are truly full of kindness.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart. Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sardet, to what do I owe the pleasure?
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Curse them! How could that possibly have happened?
Alas, these renegades have found protection with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. I would not have been able to capture them without risking a diplomatic incident that my uncle would have condemned.
The bridge. I thought as much. Those heretics have turned to them. But I had hoped that you might intervene quickly enough to stop them. It is truly regrettable. We have nothing else to do but pray that the Luminous might shield us from their lies.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
Is your... Welcome! It's such a pleasure. Have you seen it? Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
To my help! And death to the others!
Welcome, it's Savvy. Thank you for your visit. See you soon. Welcome, it's... Have you seen... Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Sir?
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon.
Permission to board the ship. We are ready.
Certainly. But keep in mind that we'll be at sea for several months. If you have any farewells to make or any final business to put into order, now is the time.
No, my house is in order. We are ready to embark.
Perfect. Follow me.
I am so eager to discover Teer Fradee. My isle, my new city.
You'll need to arm yourself with patience. The voyage will be long. I've been told the trip lasts months.
And they say the place is full of gigantic creatures, as big as buildings.
That's right. I heard a rumor the Nauts even brought one back in one of their ships.
I doubt that. The Naughts are strange, but they're not idiots.
Those conniving, piss-distilling, bridge-building liars. The creature was supposed to be out for days. They'll pay for this.
What the hell manner of cargo are you transporting?
Help! We need routes! We must contain it!
Come on, let's lend them a hand.
Captain! Keep my cousin safe!
Greenblood, how do you fare?
Fine, fine. It is dead.
Are you wounded?
I'm well. Your lessons have proven effective.
I've never seen a beast this size. It's quite extraordinary.
Cousin, what a fight. You were illustrious.
I'm not of the same mind. I had the feeling it was already weakened. I did nothing more than finish it off.
Your humility remains a constant. But believe me, that battle was absolutely epic.
Gentlemen! Your cousin's enthusiasm is most impressive.
This journey is his long-awaited chance to prove his worth. He has a demanding father.
More likely he's just happy to be free of this hornet's nest.
I definitely know I am. That's certain.
Stations, lads! Weigh anchor and ready her to wear! Lively now, lively! Catch me a wind!
What a charming welcoming committee. Gentlemen, I am Constantine of House Orsay, your new governor. I have no idea what sort of ceremony you've prepared for my arrival, but I would gladly skip it, so... Indeed, these are rather peculiar customs. I see, it seems you were quite intent on serving me a drink. Hello? Cat got your tongue, gentlemen? Would it be those annoying beaks?
I am truly sorry. These doctors should have shown a greater measure of courtesy. Thank you, dear doctors. Move along. Don't trouble the Nords. Pay no attention to them. Instead, just drink. The long voyages at sea require the appropriate treatment as soon as we land. According to our scientists, without fortifiers, you might catch your death, and that would be quite regrettable.
I should have chosen death. This concoction is liquid torture.
I would think that they would have warned you on the ship.
Not in the slightest. And you must be Lady Morange, my predecessor.
You are correct.
There you are! To your health. Aha! You got your dose of bile too. Allow me to present to you Lady Morange, and to you, my dear lady, my most trusted cousin. Where is the captain?
He seems to be preoccupied with some sort of admiral.
Indeed. Then I will have to thank him later for this most marvelous voyage. Excellency, lead me to the palace, I beg you. And, whenever possible, go by way of all the intriguing alleyways. I am dying with impatience to discover this new city. My city!
Your Excellence, we must wait for our escort.
No need. Have no fear, for I am here to defend you, my lady.
I've been scullied.
How so?
My admiral laid me off.
My cousin was nonetheless delighted with your services. I hope there was no misunderstanding.
None, I'm sure of it. She just ordered me to give you any assistance you might need.
This request doesn't seem to please you.
Don't take offense, but it's not pleasant for a captain to abandon his ship. In any case, here I am at your service, for a while.
Captain Reuben?
Aye, the man himself. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation. And I'm sure you know my companion.
Vasco. Oh, do not worry. The Seahorse is in good hands.
I'm sure, Reuben.
What brings you here?
The Admiral told me that you were the new captain of the ship we arrived on.
The Seahorse? Yes. It's an excellent ship and a good crew. But you did the crossing. You know it as well as me. Did you want to know anything else?
That'll be all, Captain. Thank you. I need a bit of practice. I need a bit of practice. It's not possible just now. Locked. I don't have the key.
Your Excellency, such elegance. You really are honouring your uncle.
Your Excellency, it is an honor.
Selection. Excellency, welcome back to my modest... It is an immense honor for me to be of service. What might I do for you?
Where do your products come from?
Most of the products that I sell are made in our beautiful nation. Clothing, boots, hats, all from our own craftsmen, with extraordinary workmanship. Ah, you have certainly noticed the blue in our linings. That is impossible to imitate, and we alone have the secret. Of course, we do ship in some foreign merchandise, most of which comes from Alsard. They are also extremely fond of blue, which makes our trading easier.
How has trade been here? You seem a little off the beaten track.
It is true that we are far from the continent, but we trade a great deal with the other cities on the island. And believe me, to keep our stocks replenished, we take advantage of every ship, no matter its origin. It did take us a while to get things set up properly. We had to convince the Nords not to take advantage of the situation, which was no easy task, and to persuade our associates from other nations that they would also benefit from the trade. But in the end, we are all making profit, for the greatest satisfaction of our clientele.
How is business in general?
I can't really complain. The advantage of selling a little of everything is that we always have buyers. I saw many of my fellow merchants forced to close because of the epidemic. And alas, I lost some really good customers. Practically friends. But those of us who remain need to continue to live. And to buy. And your noble presence here will bring me even more clients. Of that I'm certain. Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Come closer, good people. Liqueur and wine from the continent. Tier for the alcohol.
Have you ever been to Hikmet? It's a very impressive city, and there are scholars around every corner.
Atuai, si yn sradi daw quint. Da dagudach me in.
Attention, soldier!
Let me pass. I must see the chief of your village. Whatever could be so funny?
Now, who would you be to seek an audience with the governor?
I am Siora, daughter of Vladnir. My mother is Amal, the chief of our clan. I am here as an emissary of my people, and I must see your chief, your governor.
So you are a princess, then?
A what?
Let her pass! Your Majesty, I shall present you to the governor. Come.
Princess, Majesty, you are most confusing. But thank you for your help. Onol Manawi, do you need something?
The first time you saw me, did you really think I was a native?
Aside from the way you dress, you resemble a native. I have never seen an Onol Manawi amongst the Rinagze before. Is it so surprising that I made this mistake?
No, but I find it unsettling. On the continent, everyone looked at me as if I was this strange beast. And here, people think that I'm a native despite the fact that I know almost nothing of your culture.
I understand that it might be a strange experience, but you should wear these marks with pride. Because they are the marks of the Onol Manawi. Those whose flesh is bonded to Tir Fradi. This makes us closer. Anything else?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.